the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see third-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Chicago Bears. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team
Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And they can't corral him. It's Cordero Patterson. He's at the 30, 20. And how about that return as he's all the way inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run with a third-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. On second down now, it's Cohen. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco Week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 15 carries, 64 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
On second down, it's Lindsey, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super tough.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he's got some space here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Plays like we just saw there.
Front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And you see his numbers from a week ago.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. Yeah, that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. This is the tight end fan. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
You can't block me.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Well, look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be number 1 and to be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
To pass, Flacco. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And he fields it cleanly. It's a nifty return of 29 yards.
Here we go.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Trubisky to throw. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Trubisky now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Mike Davis, his 5th touchdown now on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Now a play fake here on first down. Ha-ha, Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. He zooms in for the sack. Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon. They need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Flacco on the give to Lindsey. Buster Screen is able to bring him down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating out of the gun. Flacco looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Holmes. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we? We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over to the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh? Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there. Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. The 20, and they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them. It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys. Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend? Yeah, do I ever? Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We got to step it up.
Here's Flacco toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Passing play, Flacco. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, Flacco. And that's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They run. This is Cohen. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. In on the tackle, the former All-Pro Chris Harris. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Pass from Trubisky, taken in by Gabriel. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the draw, this is Cohen. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
180! Mike 47!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a log.
Come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Flacco. Screen pass to Lindsey. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's got to the point when we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day of running? And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get it.
Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And he's got Miller. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Trubisky now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Burton. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Go! 180! March 47. Hey, let's get this, get this.
Draw play, Cohen. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Going up top. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Flacco from the gun. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They go pass again with Flacco. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Flacco. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Once more, it's Flacco. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Flacco. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. "35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Trubisky. This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. From the shotgun is Trubisky. This will be caught inside the 10. 23 yards, the final tally.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. First down, a run with Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Operating off play action, Flacco. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Setting up the throw, Flacco. Throw left side, complete. That's Lindsay. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He'll look to set up his blockers. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from the pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the 2nd quarter. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Muscles him off. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To pass, Flacco. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Bunt. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Check 59, Mike is nice.
On first down, Flacco. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and now it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And again, it's Flacco to throw. That one into the hands of Hamilton. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Flacco. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the 2nd quarter. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where it was the visiting Chargers who were able to come in and steal one on. From there, we head out west to the Golden State. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now here, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week to the Raiders. Second half starts with a run by Lindsey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Flacco's throw going to be caught by Sutton. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now Flacco, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 21. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Yeah, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and a yard. Flacco, that's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
It flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Lindsey. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cohen. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line.
Downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards. Turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Cohen pushing him away. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and goal, Trubisky got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cohen. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 52. Ran, up.
Now Trubisky on 1st down, connecting with Burton here over the middle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Trubisky, that's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 1st touchdown of the new season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, after another passing touchdown, I don't think it'd be an understatement to say that he's in the zone, and I believe he likes it.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll go again with Lindsey, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
This is taken at the 18. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Gets it to Gabriel on the jet sweep. And some room to roam now. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, 27 yards as his guys continue to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
She's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the fifth tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Flacco to throw again on second down. And his throw here's incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Flacco from the gun. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
That good for 22 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now Cohen. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through, and he's into the clear, past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Mike Davis with his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. Flacco looks to throw. That's complete to Jake Butt. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Tried to get that one to Jake Butt, and it'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On 1st down, Cohen. And an alley to run. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play,
I'm sure as a coach, when you throw the flag, you hold your breath, then you get the verification you were right, a sigh of relief.
Not only a sigh of relief, a little vindication as well, because every time you pull that red flag and throw it, you...
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And this play is not going to work. He's out of bounds, well shy of the goal line, and the try for 2, unsuccessful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Throw left side, it's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Flacco. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Sutton. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
A huge play there for Chicago. And even 60 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. This is Cohen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position. But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this spot. No, okay.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, baby.
Automatic first down.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Passing play. Flacco looking middle, and it's incomplete. Deshaun Hamilton, the intended receiver, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. A huge play there for Denver, and even 40 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. This is caught, and he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Boy, it's the same old song, isn't it? And right now, this one doesn't sound too sweet. They've been thoroughly outclassed so far. And there's another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that's something that we've said quite a bit in this game. Second down and goal. Flacco under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. The inside linebacker, Danny Trevathan, gets the sack. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Well, that field goal block pretty much sums up the day for them, doesn't it?
Boy, it really does. What's the word we often use? Symptomatic. It's just been a sign of how this one's gone.
Give a lot of credit to the guys who got in and blocked the kick. They've had the advantage all game, and they continue to press it.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. They'll start with a give to Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys They've got it going today.
16 yards, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
180. 51 to Mike. Right here, right here.
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken very short. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there. And it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Flacco. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 15 yards on the play, first down. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Flacco leads to Lindsay on the draw. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here's Flacco. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Looking to throw again on second down. Flacco. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Once more, it's Flacco. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. As this one moves towards its conclusion, another incomplete pass there. Thoughts on the secondary? Seem to be pretty effective in this one.
Yeah, I thought that they've been absolutely outstanding. I mean, their job is to prevent touchdowns, and not a single touchdown is going on the board against them. Of course, they want to make it a total shutout, but hey, if you don't give up touchdowns, you got a heck of a chance to win.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On third down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles